When the world doubts you, something powerful awakens inside the human spirit, something that cannot be created in comfort or ease. Doubt is often presented as an obstacle, but in reality, it becomes the greatest teacher, the sharpest weapon, and the most unexpected source of strength you will ever encounter. When people question your ability, your vision, or your worth, they unintentionally hand you the fuel that ignites your inner fire. It is in these moments of resistance that you discover what you truly carry within yourself. You are forced to dig deeper, to rise with a determination you might never have known had everything been easy and supportive. The world's disbelief becomes a mirror showing you not your limits, but the untapped power you have yet to claim. This is why the individuals who change history are rarely the ones who were celebrated from the beginning. They are the ones who were underestimated, doubted, dismissed, and pushed aside. Yet instead of breaking under the weight of doubt, they rise through it. They take every word of discouragement and convert it into unstoppable momentum. They understand that approval is fragile and fleeting, but resilience built through adversity is unshakable. When you rise in a moment where the world expects you to fall, you do more than prove them wrong, you prove yourself right. That moment becomes a shift, a turning point where the voice within becomes louder than the voices around you. It teaches you that the world's judgment has no authority over your destiny unless you hand it that power. And when you refuse to surrender, you transform doubt into your greatest source of clarity. Resistance forces you to choose, either bend under pressure or rise beyond it. Those who rise discover a strange truth. Your strength does not appear when people clap for you. It appears when no one believes in you. It appears when circumstances try to break you, when challenges surround you, and when your path seems impossible. That is where real heroes are forged, real leaders are shaped, and real conviction is born. So when the world doubts you, do not shrink, do not retreat, and do not silence your own voice. Because the moment you stand tall in the face of doubt, the world begins to see the power you always had within yourself. True strength has never belonged to titles, ranks, or positions because these things can be given, taken, granted, or removed in an instant. A title can place someone in a seat of authority, but it cannot create courage, integrity, or conviction in their heart. Real power is not found in the office someone holds, but in the character they carry. History is filled with individuals who held no prestigious title yet influenced nations, moved societies, and shaped eras simply because they believed deeply in something bigger than themselves. Their conviction became their authority, and their authenticity became their strength. When a person stands firmly rooted in their beliefs, their presence commands respect in a way no badge or title ever could. People listen not because they are obligated, but because they feel the sincerity and truth behind every word. Conviction creates a force that cannot be replicated or manufactured through external recognition. It comes from inner alignment, from knowing exactly who you are and what you stand for, even when others oppose or misunderstand your mission. Titles often give people a temporary sense of power, but borrowed power is always fragile. It depends on approval, structure, and validation from others. When those external supports disappear, the power disappears with them. That is why so many individuals who rely only on their positions crumble the moment they face real pressure. But a person who draws strength from conviction remains unshaken even when surrounded by challenges. They do not require applause to stay committed, nor do they collapse when confronted with resistance. Instead, their determination grows stronger because it is rooted in something internal and unbreakable. Conviction pushes you to act with purpose, to speak with clarity, and to stand tall even in rooms designed to intimidate or silence you. It gives you the confidence to face powerful institutions, influential critics, or overwhelming obstacles without losing your sense of direction. This kind of power does not fade, it expands. Real power is earned through consistency, sacrifice, resilience, and unwavering dedication to one's principles. It is earned each time you choose truth over convenience, integrity over compromise, and courage over fear. People who live by conviction do not wait for permission to lead. Their actions become their leadership. And when others witness a person who stands firm regardless of circumstance, they instinctively recognize the difference between borrowed authority and genuine strength. Conviction transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary forces, proving that the greatest power you can ever possess is the one that rises from within, untouched by titles and untamed by external conditions. Authenticity and principled leadership carry a weight that no scripted speech, polished statement, or calculated presentation can ever match. When someone stands before the world and speaks from a place of truth rather than performance, the energy of the room changes. People instinctively sense when a leader is genuine, when their words are born from lived experience rather than political convenience, and when their message reflects courage instead of caution. This authenticity creates a presence that even the most powerful global institutions cannot ignore. In places where diplomacy is often wrapped in layers of ambiguity, the entrance of a leader who speaks plainly, firmly, and sincerely is both refreshing and disarming. It shakes the atmosphere, silences unnecessary noise, and forces the audience to confront ideas they might otherwise avoid. That is the essence of principled leadership, an unwavering loyalty to values that cannot be negotiated or diluted to fit expectations. When a leader carries principles like a shield rather than a slogan, they command respect not because of their status, but because of their integrity. People may disagree with them, challenge them, or scrutinize them, but they cannot dismiss them. The conviction behind each word becomes undeniable. This kind of leadership does not bend under pressure or shift with trends. It stands firm even when confronted with powerful forces or elite gatherings. In assemblies where many voices try to posture or impress, the voice that speaks with raw truth automatically rises above the rest. Authenticity cuts through formality like a blade, forcing others to pay attention, to pause, and to reconsider their assumptions. Principled leadership also has a way of revealing the difference between influence and presence. Influence can be granted by position, but presence is earned by character. Presence is felt before a word is spoken and remembered long after the speech ends. It resonates because it is real. Authentic leaders do not enter a room trying to fit in. They enter carrying the responsibility of representing their values, their people, and their identity. This connection to purpose gives them the confidence to speak boldly even when surrounded by critics or skeptics. Their leadership becomes a reminder that power is not about dominating others, but about standing firmly in truth regardless of who is watching. And when such authenticity appears in a global forum known for its carefully measured dialogue, it naturally draws attention. It disrupts expectations, challenges the routine, and creates a sense of urgency that cannot be ignored. People may be surprised, shaken, or even unsettled by it, yet they cannot deny the impact of a leader who embodies principles so strongly that their presence alone demands respect. Courage is not something that appears in moments of comfort or ease. It is born in the exact moment when you are asked to choose between what is convenient and what is right. When powerful institutions, influential voices, or intimidating forces stand before you and attempt to shape your decisions, it becomes a test of your inner strength and the purity of your values. Many people speak about principles when the path is smooth, but true courage is revealed only when living by those principles comes at a cost. The world often pressures individuals to compromise, to soften their beliefs, or to conform in order to be accepted. But the ones who refuse to bend are the ones who truly understand the meaning of integrity. Standing firm in front of authority requires a bravery that goes beyond physical presence. It requires moral clarity, emotional resilience, and a deep sense of responsibility to honor what you believe in. When you refuse to compromise your values, you are not just protecting your identity, you are shaping your destiny. Institutions may try to influence your choices because maintaining control is easier when everyone thinks the same way, but courage is the force that breaks that pattern. It allows you to speak a truth that others might avoid, to confront challenges that others fear, and to remain steady even when the world attempts to silence or sway you. This kind of courage influences others more than you may realize. People watching from the sidelines are inspired when they see someone unafraid to reject compromise, because deep down they wish they had the strength to do the same. Your refusal to surrender your values becomes a signal that integrity still matters, that purpose is stronger than pressure, and that character stands taller than any institution. There is also a unique power in knowing that you are driven not by public approval, but by a moral compass that cannot be altered. This makes you unpredictable to those who wish to control you, because they cannot manipulate someone whose foundation is not built on fear. Such courage does not mean aggression. It means unwavering stability. It means remaining calm in the face of intimidation, steady in the face of criticism, and confident in the face of opposition. The world respects individuals who cannot be bought or broken, even if they initially try to challenge them. And in many cases, powerful institutions eventually acknowledge those who stand firm, because there is a rare dignity in someone who chooses conviction over compromise. That unshakable stance becomes a reminder that true leadership begins not with authority, but with the courage to honor one's values regardless of the cost. A single individual with clarity, purpose, and integrity possesses a force that can shake the world in ways far greater than armies. Institutions or grand strategies. Throughout history, some of the most defining moments were not sparked by the majority, but by one person who chose to stand firm when everyone else remained silent. This happens because clarity sharpens the mind, purpose strengthens the spirit, and integrity anchors the soul. When these three qualities come together, they create a presence so powerful that even crowded rooms, influential leaders, and global assemblies pause to listen. People instinctively recognize when someone speaks from a place of truth rather than from a desire to please or impress, and that recognition transforms ordinary words into something unforgettable. What silences the world is not volume, but authenticity wrapped in conviction. When an individual stands with unwavering purpose, their voice carries a different kind of weight. It is the weight of lived experience, of unbreakable belief, and of a mission that has been tested by adversity. This force cannot be replicated through rehearsed speeches or diplomatic gestures, because it comes from the deepest part of one's identity. A person with purpose becomes impossible to ignore, even by those who disagree with them. Their presence demands attention because it represents something rare, a human being who knows exactly who they are and why they stand where they stand. Others may question, criticize, or challenge them, but they cannot overshadow the clarity that radiates from someone driven by inner truth. Integrity adds yet another layer to this power. In a world where many compromise to climb higher, the individual who remains principled stands out naturally. Integrity makes your words credible, your actions trustworthy, and your presence commanding. When people witness an individual who refuses to bend for personal gain, they instinctively sense that this person is not playing a role. They are living their truth. This kind of integrity becomes a silent force that amplifies every decision, every statement, and every step. It becomes a magnet that draws respect even from opponents, because consistency is a language that everyone understands and few can challenge. When clarity, purpose, and integrity combine, they create a voice that does not just speak, but resonates. Such a voice does not need aggression to be heard or domination to be felt. It rises naturally above the noise because it carries the power of truth. And truth, when delivered with conviction, has the ability to silence entire rooms, not through intimidation, but through the undeniable strength of authenticity. That is why one person, standing firmly in who they are, can shift the energy of an entire audience and influence the course of events far beyond what anyone ever expected. The world has never been transformed by people who simply followed the script or blended safely into the expectations around them. It is always the bold, the unexpected, the ones who disrupt the ordinary, who create the greatest shifts in history. Being extraordinary is not about being louder, more dramatic, or more forceful. It is about having the courage to step beyond what others consider acceptable or predictable. When someone chooses to embrace their uniqueness rather than hide it, they unlock a level of influence that cannot be replicated by conformity. The world notices those who carry themselves with a spirit that defies the usual patterns. It notices those who arrive with a message or presence that breaks the familiar rhythm of the moment. People pay attention because the unexpected challenges their assumptions and forces them to reconsider what is possible. Many individuals limit themselves because they fear standing out, fearing that the spotlight will bring criticism or misunderstanding. But the reality is that greatness has never grown in the shadows of comfort. It is born in the light of boldness, where a person dares to step forward even when no one has done it before. When someone does the unexpected with confidence, it sends a ripple through every observer, reminding them that limitations are often imagined rather than real. These moments of extraordinary courage become signals that change is not only possible, but already happening. They inspire others to question their boundaries, to pursue their own truths, and to stop shrinking themselves for the sake of fitting in. Being extraordinary also means accepting that not everyone will understand you at first. People may doubt you, resist you, or try to pull you back into the comfort of the ordinary. But the extraordinary do not seek validation from those who fear possibility. They move with purpose, guided by a vision that is clearer to them than it is to anyone else. And once they act on that vision, the world eventually adjusts to their boldness. What was once seen as surprising becomes inspiring. What was once questioned becomes admired. The extraordinary teach the world to expand its expectations simply by refusing to limit themselves. When someone steps into a room with authenticity and fearlessness, they can change the atmosphere without saying a word. The unexpected quality of their presence disrupts the pattern, commands attention, and makes people reconsider what true power looks like. These individuals remind everyone that staying ordinary may feel safe, but it will never create impact. The world moves forward when someone is brave enough to be different, to be bold, and to be the shock that awakens possibility in others.